Hi there, it's Vanessa Baker, popping in for some more crafting on a Thursday. And I hope if you're in the North Island of New Zealand that you hunkered down against this storm. Mainly we've got here is wind. We've had a little bit of rain, but lots and lots of wind. But I hear it's been raining more up in Auckland, so I hope everyone's safe. Today I'm using Boho Blue again. It's a retiring colour that we've had for 2 years, and as you'll see, I wear the colour. I had to wear my Boho Blue top. So yeah, I'm doing another card using that, and it's retiring on the 3rd of May. So if it's a colour that you like, and you've got it, then I suggest you get the re-inker before it retires so that you can carry on using it. And I'm umming a lot today. I still have 3 spaces. I'm actually doing classes over this weekend. It was the only time in the month that I could do them. So I've got Saturdays fully booked, but Sunday I think there are 3 spaces left. So if your plans have changed due to the weather, or you just fancy coming, then I do have those spots available, but I will be cutting the kits tomorrow. So you only have till the end of today to register on my website. So let's get started. Oh, now I will just check my sound. I haven't done that yet. And just double check that everything's working. Just check my sound. I haven't done that yet. Okay, all good. Right, so welcome along. And like I say, I'm using Boho Blue, which I think has to be my favourite. I did like all of the colours, but I think I've used this one the most out of the ones that are retiring. And what I've got is, so this is a technique that I did a few months ago. Oops, I haven't done all the pieces. That's a bit silly. Oh, that's for my front, so that's all right. I can just cut the other 2 as we go. So this is a technique called Retiform, and it's where and I did it for the herb set. What was it called? I'm trying to find it on my shelf here. Here we go. Grow with Love. So I did it with that, and you'll be able to look back on my site and see that video. And that was done with green. So I thought I will do this one with the blue. And I'm also using the Cheerful Daisies set, which is also retiring. Once the stock runs out, that won't be replenished. So Cheerful Daisies, and there are dies that go with that, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the dies as we go. But first of all, I've got the masking paper, and like before, I've cut it into 3 strips. So I just divided the width by 3 and cut that. So I've got my 3. The paper comes, so before I cut it, it was like that. Don't know if you can see, there's a cut line through the middle there. So only one of them has that, so it's nice and easy to pull the backing off. The other 2, you have to find it by trying to split them apart at the corner. Just trying to get that to, you just sort of play with it. It generally creates a bit of like a dog-eared sort of thing, and then you can get your nail in there. Alternatively, you could use a tool to try and go between the 2 layers. Oh, here we go. Here it is. Okay, so now I want the sticky side. This is the non-sticky side, so I'm just going to peel that and throw it away. And just like before, we want to get a bit of lint on here. At the moment, it's quite sticky. It is designed to be able to be removed on and off, but I don't want it accidentally tearing my paper. So I'm just going to place it onto my clothing and just smooth it down and pull it off, and just do that a couple of times with each piece. So now, I don't know if you can see, but it's got just that little bit of lint on there, and it's going to not be quite so sticky. So then I can just put that one down on my card front, and so I'm going to mask the area So I'm starting in the middle, so I'm going to put the masking on either side. So I want to be about there and about there. So then I can sponge in this middle section. And just for speed, I'll take off the easier one with the gap down the middle. Oops. There. So that just comes apart nice and easy. And again, I'm going to just get try a different spot on my skirt for some lint, and then place it so I've got a little gap up there. This one is almost straight, but not quite. So just a wee bit of an angle like that. Okay, so now I've got my area masked, and I'm going to come in with my blue, Boho blue. So I'm using a blending brush. And as always, you want to start not on the area that you're putting the ink. I'm going to start either on my glass mat or on the mask and just get rid of that first sort of blob of ink, and then start blending on the actual project. In this part, you can do it as dark or as light as you prefer. I tend to go a bit darker on this middle section, just when I'm doing this technique. I don't know why, it just sort of happens to get it all covered. Okay, I managed that time quite well. Sometimes the end of the masking paper might curl up, so you just want to make sure you put that down and just go in that direction downwards with your brush so as not to get it into another section. Okay, now we're going to carefully peel the masking paper off, and this is the part where if you hadn't done the lint it would be quite sticky. And I find just pulling it towards me quite flat works quite well. Okay, so there's one. We'll just pop it there for now, and we'll get the other one off. And I'm just going to slide everything up a little bit. I feel like I might be off camera. Try it there. So just slowly peeling that back, and you'll see we've got a nice defined area through the middle. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing to the middle going across the card. So I'm going to go about there. And you want that nice and firmly pressed. And then I'm going to go. I need to leave enough room for my words. Actually, I could put. I might just test. So I've got the words. Oh, I haven't got the words out. Here they are. So I'll just have to get a block. Might have to use that one for now. I'll just make sure I've got enough room there. Yes, I have. Perfect. Okay, so then we just go back in with our brush and do the same thing across this section. So starting off on your masking paper, and then just sponging onto this gap. Like I say, for some reason that middle one ends up darker, but I guess I'm going over it with the second layer, so I'll just try and get a bit more onto this section. So it's kind of cool how it's got the different levels of blending. Right, so I'm going to leave those bits there and take up my other piece. Backing off. I do try and move the masks as little as possible. Oh, that's a great tip. Sorry, I can't see who's... Oh, Barbara, hello. The dressmaker's pin for getting the paper apart. Thank you, that's a great tip. My dressmaker's pin, I won't show you, it's disgusting. It's covered in glue from when I have to clear my my liquid glue. Right, so I'm going to get more lint. But yes, a pin is not going to take up a lot of room if I had a second one. Right, now I'm going to do the words first because I have that section earmarked for that. So we'll just pop that one. So I've isolated now this section here, and I'm going to use the same ink, and I'm going for the sort of the end of the pad where I haven't been using it much to get a darker amount of ink. And I'm trying, I haven't quite got my paper straight. It doesn't really matter too much if it's not dead straight, because you've got those edges that aren't straight around it. There we go. So that's my first section done. Then I'm going to excuse me, mask off. Now I'm going to need another thing. So sometimes you'll find you haven't quite got enough masking paper. So rather than trimming this one, I'm going to use a post-it note. If I can find one quickly. Here we go. So you'll see I need to cover the words, and I've run out of pieces. So I'm just going to use a post-it note, and I'm just going along that line that's been created with the blending. Okay, make sure it's nicely stuck. And then this section has the, oops, fell off. Sometimes the photopolymer loses its grip, and what's happened is, from handling, it's on the flat side that sticks to the block. It's just got dusty and lint on there, so I've just given it a wipe on that side that sticks to the block. Okay, so I'm going to use this floral stamp, and I want a couple of stamps of it, and the idea is that it looks like it's gone over the edges, and then if I turn it around, and we'll get another one like that. When you pull that away, you've got your nice crisp edge. Perfect. And then we can mask off this last section here. And this time I'm going to use the stem. I actually got this tip from another demonstrator whose name escapes me, and they'd done a similar thing with these. I thought, oh, those stems look so good. I wouldn't have thought of doing that. And crisscrossing them. In some different angles. And it just looks, makes you wonder what on earth it is. Don't know what it is. When you take all the masking away, you're just left with like little sticks. Okay, so we'll just peel this carefully off. So we've done that whole middle section now. So we need to move all of the masks away. All right. So I might do that top corner next. So we'll do one that comes all the way down. And then one that goes across this way. Oh, I should have done this cross one first, because now I'm going to have to move both of them for the next section, but that's okay. Right, so this time I'm stamping a flower. Oh, and I've put that one away too. So we'll just take this words off. I seem to be short on blocks. I don't know where they've all got to. Okay. We're just going to fill this corner with flowers, daisies. And you want to turn them and put them in different angles, get them sort of coming in off the edge. Actually, that might be enough. 3 is always a good number. And then we've got a little centre part for that. And the thing with little stamps like this is to go slowly. I did them yesterday, and I've got one that's only half stamped. Okay. All right, so now, like I say, we're going to have to move both of these. Oops, and it's ripping the masking taper. We'll just pull it in the opposite direction. Okay, we can carry on using that. Now, so the next one, I'm going to put this, actually I might use that as a top one. Now that it's ripped, I won't put one over it. So we'll put this one across here. And then we'll make this one the top one. So now we're going to cover up our daisies. And I'll need this long one as well. And I'm going to do more sticks. Don't want them all the same angle, so it's a matter of finding how it looks good, but isn't exactly the same as the one before. Okay, that might be enough. So we do need to remove that one to get to our next part. We'll cover up the sticks now and do the last one at the top. And this I've used the larger flower. And these are actually a 2-step stamping set, but I've chosen not to fill in the flowers because I felt that would be too heavy. So I'm just doing it with the outline. Okay, so we want 2 of these, I think. Just trying to do different angles. And then I've also got a centre for this one. A nice big centre in there. Not quite sure which way around this stamp goes. It kind of looks about that shape. It will be fine. Okay, so that side, that top part is now done. Oh, actually, can I do... No. I thought I could do the bottom, but my line is further up. So we'll just take these all off. They do get a bit ratty by the end of it, but they manage to last through one card, I find. Okay, nearly there. So we'll mask off this section here next with our one across there. And then this one can be this corner. Now, last time I did flowers here, but I'm feeling like it was a bit repetitive. I used that one. So the plan is to sort of use different images all the way around. So this time I'm going to use, so what have I got left? I've got that one left. I think I could do another one with the little flower. And I've got the leaf. Done that one. That's quite large, so I won't do that again. Oh, and I've got the little, oh no, that's a fill-in one. And I've got the branch, which I've done twice. Okay, so let's just have a little peep. So I've got this floral one here in the middle, so I don't want to do it in the middle again. So I think I will do, oh, I can't decide. So I've got to do the leaves. Put the leaves in the middle. That other floral one. Oh yeah, I'll just do it how I did the last one. After all that, I'll just stick with the, oh no, what I'll do, I'll swap them. So I'll do this one instead. Yes. Okay, so we're going in with this little die. And like I say, just turn it each time so you're getting a different, and then go right across the corner with that. Nice. And we can leave that top one on. And now just cover that side. So there I'm going to do the leaves. Leaves. And this was tricky because I wanted them to all be on different angles, and I found that hard. I don't know why. Let's do one up there like that. We want some up the other way. And we want some that are actually the full leaf as well. Okay, that's looking good. And I like to leave a little bit of white space. I don't want too much. It is quite a busy look to begin with. Okay, and finally I'm going to put my medium-sized daisy down here. Hopefully I'll get two on. Oh, you'll see I missed a bit in the corner there. I wonder if I can line that up. And just try and get, oh, I've got a little faint line there. And then I've got the centre. Okay. Yeah, so that's one thing to watch, is where your corners meet. Obviously there's a lip of the paper. It is quite thin, but it is still there. So I should have just paid a bit more attention to that when I was stamping it and left it there for a couple more seconds. But it's all good. It's funny, once you actually have the whole thing out, you can't really notice that. And I'm now going to finish sponging. So I'm carrying on now with the sponge, the same ink. And I'm just going to sponge all of these other areas which weren't sponged before. And I like to do this at the end because you can darken the edge nicely as you go. And it just adds a little definition to the edge. And then it's another lighter version of the colour as well. So I've ended up with sort of 1, 2 at least shades of different strengths of the colour. And I'm trying to get those edges as I go. That nice definition there. Okay, pretty happy with that. Now I have gone ahead, I need to just stamp, oh no, I've already done it, it's all right. I've gone ahead and done some die cutting, but I'm going to show you what I used. So I've die cut from the Boho blue paper this little spriggy one, and that is this die here, so that's nice and easy, just one run of that. And I've also die cut this, which I'm going to use the big flower, and it came from this die here. So I've used it twice. I've cut it out with white, and I've also cut it with the Boho blue. And each time I just sort of zoned in, just used a piece of paper the size of the big flower, but I've got random bits because it's all attached. So now I'm just going to separate the bits that I don't want. I've only got a partial leaf there, which I don't want. I'll cut that off. I've got this other whole flower. So I just find the part where I can easily snip it and sort of follow the shape of the leaf on the big flower, because that's the one I'm keeping. And snip that off and snip that off. Get rid of all those bits. And I left all the dots that stayed in on the center, but I did poke out the those other rectangular pieces. And then we're going to do the same on the leaves. I'll just detach the bit I don't want, although that's going to be hidden anyway, but just to give you the idea. So it's very easy just to use a small square and just put it over the leaves and die cut just that section. So that's what I wanted to explain there. Okay, and then I've done a centre for the flower. So this was stamped with the same stamp as I used here, and there's a little die to cut that out. So I've die cut that, and that's going to be the centre of my flower. I just felt you can use it just with the dots. You could poke them out if you wanted to. I tried just colouring that area, but I just felt it needed a little bit of something extra, and that little stamped one just finished it nicely, I thought. So we're just going to stick down our sprigs. Now, where's my glue? My glue has started to run out today. So my personal preference is I just put a few dots of the glue, if I can get it just to dot. Might need to get another one. Oh no, here we go. So I'm just getting some bits, and that's really all I use. Just I don't go to the top of the sprig, and I'm going to position that about here because I like it how it sort of lifts off and it adds extra dimension to the card. Now I'm going to see where I'm going to place my flower, about there. So I'm going to just rest that there while I do the leaf. So that little leaf won't really be seen. I'll put glue there and just a few dots of glue on the rest of it. And then we're just going to tuck that in out there. So again, it's sort of stuck at the bottom and part way up, but the top is loose. Now, trying to remember how I did the rest of it. I'm just going to stick this on, I think, with glue to the center. And for the flower, I'm going to use a glue dot. I didn't want to use, well, you can use dimensionals and that would just raise it up, which would be nice. But I felt for this card, just because it was quite a lot happening, that I wanted it flatter. But a glue dot just gives you a little bit of height without being too much. Okay, so we've got our glue dot just under the center, and I'm just going to attach my flower so you can still see the words. Very important to have what our card is about. Okay, so like I say, the masking paper, this one might do another card if you were careful. The other two are faring pretty well. You could probably use that one again, and this one, the last one we took the backing off, is pretty good. So if you've got another one you're wanting to do, you could easily reuse those or use your post-it notes. Right, now the bit I hadn't cut out is the next layer, so I'll just quickly cut one out in white. And I need an inner as well. Right. So that's going to sit on top of that layer. And this will be my inner. So on the inner, I actually did the stem and the half daisy. That's the one I want, not that one. I'll put that one away. Oh no, I did. I think I coloured it in to show you. And the little one. Okay. So I need blocks for those. This one could do with a wash. Okay. So for the stem, I didn't want it quite as high as the stem is. And actually there's a blob of ink on there. I'll just get rid of that. Okay, so I'm going to go in this direction. So that's going to be at the top of the flower. And I just didn't want the whole stem. So to do that, I'm just going to put the part I do want on the ink pad. And I'm just not inked the bottom. And then when I stamp it, I can just go right to the bottom of the page so it doesn't look weird, and just stamp my stem. That's the height I wanted it. Now I've got my two stamps. So this is the detail, the flower. And I'm just positioning the stem in between a couple of petals there. Hopefully that's on camera. Hang on, I'll just move that so I can scoot up a bit. And then I've got this one. So this is the second step, which is to fill in a colour. And this one you just line up over the top. Like so. And then I've got the centre. Beautiful. I probably could have gone a bit higher up into my flower there, but I don't think I haven't got the pens, but I do have the blends in this colour. I could just extend carefully my stem to a couple of lines just so it's not so by itself. Disconnected, that's the word I wanted. Okay, so that's our inside. Now, am I going to have enough glue? That's the next question. So I'm gluing my layer that started off white, that's got our Retiform Technique, is now going onto a white layer to give it a little bit of pop. And we've got that inked edge to give us the definition between the two layers. And then that is going on my card with dimensionals. If I can find where I've put them. Here we go. Now I have to use some edge pieces. So I just cut a whole bunch and then stick them on. And one in the middle for luck. Right. I always put more than enough. I don't want to scrimp on dimensionals. So then we just have to carefully hover that over until everything is straight and evenly spaced and pop it on. Awesome. Now I've got just 3, look at this, 3 little gems left from my in colour dots. I'll just get rid of these backings off the dimensionals. Quite sticky today. So everything is sticking to me. Right. So I've got my small one, medium one, large one, medium one, and small one. And a triangle, bringing attention to my words. Oops, now that is stuck to my masking sheet. And we can put the inner inside. Oh, I really am having trouble with this glue now. I might have to do. And there we have it. My Retiform Cheerful Daisies Boho Blue card, celebrating 2 retiring products, the Boho Blue and the Cheerful Daisies set. So I hope you've enjoyed this week's video. Unfortunately, I won't be here again next week. We've got a little trip, so I'll be back again. I don't know what the date is, in May. Something like the 2nd, or is it the 1st? Whatever the Thursday is, the first Thursday in May will be the next video, and that will be loaded as an event on my page. Yeah, so if you need some supplies, some Boho Blue or Cheerful Daisies, then just head off to the Stampin' Up website, stampinup.nz, and you can create an account if you don't have one and place your order directly there and choose me as your demonstrator. If you need help with your order, then please reach out to me. I'm always around and happy to help with any queries that you have. Otherwise, I'll see you again in May. Thanks for watching.